It's time to get you all into shape. Welcome to the Gridiron. I am Coach Walter Aiken, but everyone calls me Chief. I was head football coach at Clark Atlanta University and quite the legend because of my unstoppable record. But you won't get to experience that just yet, rookies. We have to get you into shape first. I was born January 31st, 1893 in Dover, Delaware. My parents, James Washington and Adelaide Aiken, made sure we had everything. Me and my 8 siblings. There were 10 of us, but one passed young. That was pretty common back then. On to happier stories. I earned my nickname Young playing football for my high school team. You see, the quarterback was tired of all the other players telling him what plays to run during the huddle. So he hollered that they were only going to listen to the smartest man on the field, and that man would be their chief. Now, he probably meant himself, but that man was me. I was Chief Aiken from there on out. You see, my parents were born into slavery, but they believed in education. They were farmers, but they really wanted us to use our minds. They made sure we went to college. I graduated from the Hampton Institute of Hampton, Virginia. I studied agriculture, horticulture, building. I thought I was going to work the land like we did in Delaware. That reminds me of a song. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to New York Island. Oh, what's that? You laughing at my singing? I'll have you know, I went to Howard to study music and got named assistant head football coach. So maybe there's something to that. Later, I went to University of Pennsylvania and Temple to study engineering and real estate law. My brothers and I would go to New York and help at the Colored Orphans Asylum. But while there, I got drafted into the military in World War I. I was in for about 2 years. But after the war, it was football that first brought me to Atlanta in 1922 when I was hired as the head football coach of Atlanta University. I can tell, though, that my singing helped with my rhythm on the field. You better get a little tune in you. Now, I worked hard for everything, including my wife. She is the daughter of Henry Rucker. He used to report directly to the president as the collector of Internal Revenue Service here in Atlanta. I used to escort her around town for a couple months. Then I asked her to marry me. And she turned me down. But I gave it a little bit of time and effort. You see, her pops wouldn't let her and her sisters visit the soda fountain when they was kids. They were too high class for that. She only agreed to marry me when I promised to build her one in our basement. After I convinced her, we married and moved to Philadelphia, where I started selling real estate in New Jersey and Norfolk, Virginia. Business was not bad, but we figured we'd just come on back down to Atlanta. You see, Lucy was never one to stay put. Oh, she also worked with me at Aiken Incorporated, running the books, and I love that woman. You better hope you find someone to love you as much as Lucy loves me. Because life was good. But who can be totally happy with a losing football team? No, I picked up coaching again and turned that around quick enough. Under my leadership, Atlanta University became a powerhouse of black college football. In my 20 years of coaching, my teams played 175 games and lost only 21. That record beats even Mrs. Heisman's old man. And you know what? I did it for free. For the love of the game. I donated my salary back to the school for scholarships. I didn't need the money. I put all those degrees of mine to work building houses. Now, if you're here, you probably already know I'm a bit of a legend for my building, too. And if you don't, you will. I made sure to build affordable housing options, especially for our people. We gave out fair loans and made sure families could live vibrant lives. I averaged building around, 50 to 100 houses a year, and employed as many as 400 black and white workers at a time to mass produce houses and apartments in the city. I also served as head of the National Builders Association and as the president of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. I worked until I became a resident here in 1965. Well, not here. I'm actually buried over that way. No, not the main Rucker lot, the extra. Football hero or no, my wife had no shortage of siblings, so I got stuck in overflow parking. And now I help recruits like you get into shape before the big game. Well, go on now. It's time to get the rest of your laps in around the cemetery. Oh, and make sure you say hello to Miss Gaither on the way. And you there, maybe lay off the drinks if you want to make the team, you hear? Good night. Thank you, sir.